Welcome back to Books and Bullshit.
This week we read the games God's Play by Abigail Owens.
I loved the book. I think is one of my most favorite books that we have read so far.
Yeah, definitely, a 5 out of 5 for me. For the most part. I would say, like, what I didn't like didn't warrant enough to.
Drop it.
Yeah.
I am so excited for book 2. I've already pre-ordered it. I actually pre-ordered book 2 100 pages into the book because I have self-control.
Well, yeah, I know that. Anyways, I thought that the pacing of the story was done really well. In particular, I felt like the chapter lengths were, while short, were structured well enough that it worked with the pacing.
All I'm gonna say is I want somebody to bend me over a grotto and eat me out like I'm the next fucking last meal they're ever gonna fucking have.
Oblivion. You know what? I'll say, book has low spice, but what spice that we got, I really, really hope book 2 gives us even just another scene, just one, because that was.
For it being her first time too, she really went all in. She was like, "Yeah, sure, leave me with this ledge."
Yeah, she said, "I'm giving my virginity to a god, so might as well leap full ass in."
Yeah. I also liked how she gave each head of Cerberus a different kind of personality and a slightly different voice.
Yeah.
And how she was consistent with the fact that Zeus is canonically a fucking dick.
Yeah. What I really enjoyed the different perspectives and, like, I'm awake. That we got of each of the gods.
Yes.
How, like, we get to see Aphrodite, like, in full get up being pretentious, and then we get those private moments with her where you really, in a sense, get humanity.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Hades just a big dumb baby who wants love. Very cute.
It is. I do like how I loved the scene with Aphrodite on the bridge with the Pegasus, and how she was so happy when, like, she got told that she was the strongest. Like, yes, you are.
Right? Like, that was so cute. I really, scenes I love, but I hate Boone dying. I was so pissed. I was so pissed.
I know you put the book down. You had to take a break.
Dies.
You had to take a break. It's okay. He came back at least. At least he was only dead for a little bit.
Yeah, that makes me happy because I
don't know if I would have been happy if he stayed dead. Like, I was upset that he died, but then that he came back, I was like, okay, this is okay. The only thing I'm, like, wondering though is how she, like, survived the river Styx the first time when she fell in. Like, did it have to do with the fact that she had, like, Hades' kiss, or, like, is there,
Yeah, I'm like, or is there more there? Are we going to find out that our mortal isn't as mortal as we think she is? That'd be dope.
That would be so dope. I mean, now she's a goddess, so I mean,
yeah, either way, it's irrelevant. But it would just be cool for, like, the origin story sake of it all, I guess. I really enjoyed that the main character really just, like, self-preservation for others, risk your own life to keep them safe. Self-preservation for yourself, call a god a monster.
No! Just call him out.
Literally meets Hades because she's going to throw a rock at Zeus's temple.
Right? Not only did she call Athena a monster once, not twice, but 3 times. Like, in front of the whole immortal community, just was like, you're a monster. You're all a monster. Like,
oh, I love it. And then really no fear.
And then the scene in the jail where, like, when she's talking to Zion, she's just like, oh, I heard a goddess's teeny little weensy feelings.
Weenie baby feelings.
And, like, the Dominions are just there, like, stop!
She's gonna be so great for the gods up there, now that she's a goddess and everything. I think when she comes back, because I'm not thinking
it's a trilogy, yeah.
I'm not
thinking
I'm thinking but I can't wait to watch her humble some of them.
I feel like what's going to happen is the second book's going to be about getting her out, and the process of getting her out is going to release the Titans, and then the third book's going to be having to be them and the gods, like, fighting the Titans and getting them back into Tartarus.
Or we find out Zeus was the bad guy all along, and he's who ate people. No, okay.
No, they can just throw him in with the Titans, though.
Oh yeah, for real. Look at
but I also want to know,
is
that actually Zeus? Because it did say that there was that, like,
I looked at him and I saw that mask.
Yeah.
Almost like a second skin. I think that Zeus isn't actually Zeus and someone else has actually been ruling the gods. And we're going to find out, like, maybe Zeus is actually trapped in Tartarus too. And that maybe somebody who should be in Tartarus isn't in Tartarus. Obviously not Kronos, because we saw him, like, the second she went through the door. But
yeah. I mean, and if it is truly Zeus, then I don't feel bad, because he's also just a dick.
Unless Kronos trapped Zeus in a glamour that makes him look like Kronos, and then Kronos is trapped looking like Zeus, because that's how that glamour works. They're like switched faces. That would be crazy. And then we get a super humble Zeus for the first time in history, because he's been trapped in Tartarus like a big bitch baby.
He's a big bitch baby, though.
I really enjoy Hades, like, stories, because I read this one a few years ago that was like, it was a shifter romance.
I'm not gonna lie.
They did a Hades Persephone spin through those books, and it was actually pretty good.
I think Hades is literally, like, one of my favorite Greek gods.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Especially compared to the big three, because his two brothers, Poseidon and Zeus, are just big fucking baby wusses.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Poseidon could do some real freaky shit with you.
Well, yeah, but I just meant, like, when you, like, think about them, like, both of, like, Poseidon and Zeus are, like, fucking egotistical assholes, and then there's just Hades down in the underworld, like, fucking taking care of the souls.
Yeah. But most men have garbage personalities, so why not,
get something a little bit freaky with it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Poseidon could, like, take you out in that deep ocean.
All I'm saying is I'm pretty sure
freaky shit both in the water and on the surface of the water.
I'm not a Greek know-it-all, but I'm pretty sure Hades was, like, the only one who didn't cheat on his fucking wife in Greek mythology. Again, I could be wrong, but you hear all the time about how Zeus and Poseidon are fucking man whores and cheating left and right on their fucking wives.
Yeah, I mean, so is Hermes, though.
Yeah, but I don't look at Hermes.
Big whore.
Big whore.
Huge whore. Probably the biggest.
Okay, all the Greek gods are just...
Yeah, they're very horny. You know what? Sounds like my kind of people.
But I'm like, at that point, why even be in a committed relationship? Just all go be man whores. Just be in an open relationship.
I think the problem for me with all of it is there was, like, a serious chunk of the book that I was really worried that Hades and, like, Persephone in some weird way were probably her parents. And I was like, I get it's Greek mythology, but, like, listen, we stick to uncles and step siblings, not father-daughter. Because, like, I was, like, sitting here, I was like, well, what if Persephone got pregnant with, like, a mortal's baby or something, is what I was thinking. And then she went to, like, Zeus's temple to pray for forgiveness, and then her water broke, so he cursed her baby, and she tried to, like, have it in hiding or whatever. You know what I mean? I get that they were saying Persephone had been dead for a long time, but based on the fact that throughout the book they were sitting there being like, time is different for the gods, or, the mortals got this wrong, the mortals got that wrong, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, well, maybe they, that could be like a prelude to them telling us, not everything is always as it seems, and people probably haven't been as gone for as long as you think they've been gone. Because Persephone would have had to die, or go to Tartarus at some point between the last crucible and this one, which doesn't mean it was within, like, it wasn't 100 years ago exact, or
Yeah.
Hades would have just gone into that crucible, annihilated everybody, and fucking just like taken care of that a lot quicker. And she hasn't been waiting for very long, because he even says at the end of the book she knows the appointed time to be there, which means he knows that they, like, she went in there far enough out from the crucible that they were still able to be like, if anything, just wait for the crucible, which makes me think maybe it's only been a much shorter chunk of time that she's been gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And those are just like little theories I have, especially when you take into, like you said, she fell into the river Styx. She didn't die, and no mortal can do that.
Yeah.
So what if she already wasn't necessarily mortal, but had been, like, through the things Greek gods can do, had been masked as mortal?
I'm also really curious as to why Kronos dragged her and Boone into Tartarus out of like the people out of Demeter and Hades that were also like, why those two?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why those two? Which is what again leads me that if Persephone's over there and and Boone and her are somehow, especially our main character, is more important to Persephone, especially wouldn't you want to get that one? Would especially like if, let's say, she is the daughter of like Persephone, and say even like another god that they had to hide, because there are plenty of gods that, like, if they were to create offspring, would probably end up on Zeus's shit list.
Oh yeah, Zeus kind of hates a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't be hard for Persephone to go bone someone that in turn would make Zeus like pissed to all pissed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then sacrifice herself, ending up in Tartarus, in order to hide said offspring from the gods.
True. It also would explain why her parents so easily gave her up at 3, because I think the book also showed consistently, as much as she is quote unquote unlovable in the sense of being picked first, she's not uncareable, because Boone and all of the other pledges cared for her and wanted to be her friend.
Other people flocked to her and cared about her is a sign of devotion, which would be something that stems from, like, you can't help when you're, as she says several times, oh my gosh, the way I'm looking at the way this god greets us, or this,
yeah,
you almost can't help but to feel warmed up to them. And it's almost like, despite her curse, people can't help but to warm up to her, care about her,
yeah,
follow her, help her. And you see that time and time again throughout the book, where she, meets someone like 1 or 2 times, and they instantly like her. She says something out of her mouth, and they're just like, oh my gosh, this bitch. And you almost see it even with the other champions, that by the end, because of just how good she is, how much of a leader she is, they all in turn just are like, you know what, like, you world be damned, I'm following you.
Also,
again, like a god,
especially because she also is like willing to sacrifice so much to save them, like,
exactly, like a god.
But I also just feel like, with how it's shown, I don't think, even if her parents deemed that they couldn't fully love her in that way, I don't think they would have gotten rid of her if they were truly her parents.
Which means I think she wasn't gotten rid of because she wasn't loved. I think she was gotten rid of to keep her safe.
Which I'm wondering is why the mom was so quiet in that interview and was that dick of a man.
I don't think those were her actual parents.
I think the mom may have.
That's something
the woman might have been, because she seemed really submissive, but I don't think the guy was truly her dad.
I don't think so, because of the way she was describing the way her parents looked, and her being like, they don't look like, she was literally expressing how she doesn't look like them too much. Like, oh, I could kind of look like them here, but it's not quite the same. And then neither of them really have my eye color, but I guess that, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the mom had the green eye, she just didn't know it had the gold flecks.
And it's just like the way
but I feel like and that was another thing, is like the gold in her eyes has been shown, like that Hades had the same thing around his,
which made me think, is that a trait that certain gods would have? Like, let's say, if one of the main 3, or how like Aphrodite's so on and so forth. But like, I just, with the way she was pointing out, oh well, these are kind of similar but not quite similar, that's kind of like how, I mean, you have brown hair and Emma has brown hair. They're the same, but you guys are blood related.
Yeah.
You could, I mean, someone I guess could say you guys are because your hair color is the same, but that's like saying any person with brown hair ever is related. Just because a trait is similar does not mean it speaks to like genetic standing. However, there's certain key things we get from our parents that like you just can't really argue. And like it's like how Emma and me look exactly the same, or Annie looks exactly like someone else in my family. There are genetic things that I can point out between each of my children that you can tell are traits they got from me clear as day on their face. However, if they were standing with like their dad, you would see traits on them that match their father's. And so when you're sitting there staring at both of your parents and you kind of are like, I mean, this is the same, but like not the same. Like, oh, he has brown hair like me, but mine's more like black than his.
Yeah.
Oh, she has green eyes, but I mean, does she have the gold flecks in them? You know what I mean? I have green eyes. I know several other people with green eyes, but our greens are all different, and that isn't something you can tell from far away. And just with that initial hesitation, and then her being like, "Well, we kind of look the same, but like not really." That speaks more to how traits are similar, not how genetic traits manifest, which makes me think that that's like they're not really her parents. They're somebody that maybe like Zeus paid to go pose as her parents or something or another. You know what I mean? Or maybe something that the people who are running the event just kind of like threw together with what limited information they had, especially considering like even her dad was like at an age old enough to make decisions yourself. You wouldn't say that about your 3-year-old. You know what I mean? You'd be like, oh, she was old enough that, we felt that she would be okay or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially because if that champion wins and comes back and sees that interview, they're gonna be like, "You really thought I was old enough to make my own decisions at 3?" And that's still going to call into question, I think, with the vagueness and then the not quite similar features. They're probably not actually.
Especially when they were like, "We've been getting updates." She's like, "No, the fuck you haven't, because their debt's been paid off for years. You just had nowhere to go."
Again, I don't think those are her parents.
No.
I think that she was probably more or less probably hidden away, and I think that there might be ties to like maybe potentially Hermes or something because she got put with the Order of the Thieves.
And I mean, it does state too that like she doesn't really have memories of her parents, so it's also like could be that she got put there after she was.
Well, and I wonder if the humming is like almost a subconscious trait because she does. Yeah, she does it when she's stressed, but she almost does. She does it when she's stress moments when she needs comfort.
She also does it when she's focusing.
And I wonder if that's a thing that her subconscious memory remembers from her parent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's something that you do like when her parent would provide her care and comfort, not love. That maybe they hummed and her subconscious brain linked up to that as a thing to like focus on and calm down because that was something that was maybe done for her when she was really little because her brain's like catalog subconscious things like that.
But yeah, because like she does because she even stated that like for years they've been trying to beat that trait out of her pretty much,
and it just
won't go away.
And again, I wonder if that is something that would tie into her origins, where she comes from and who her parents are. I really hope that it like maybe with our time with Kronos, questions like that are what get answered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? While we're in Tartarus, I think having questions like that answered, like, because obviously there's a reason she got pulled there instead of like Hades, because he would have gone for his own son if he could have. You know what I mean? However, I think that something about her, infancy basically, and conception probably
played a role.
It played a role in why Sheely and Boone were pulled through over the other options that were there. And I think it does absolutely have to correlate with Persephone and those types of decisions as to why she made her way to Tartarus. Because even Hades is like, I'm not going to tell you. I could tell you one day, but I'm not telling you now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe what it really is even he doesn't 100% know why she'd be willing to make that risk.
Right.
Which makes me wonder, like, which makes me wonder, did she conceive the baby? Because, Persephone's story, she spends half her time in the underworld and half her time on Olympus,
Yeah.
So I wonder if the baby was conceived during her time on Olympus. And then she was able to, be in San Francisco because Hades has his penthouse there.
Yeah.
And maybe she was like hiding out there and went to Zeus's temple to try to like pray and get answers or whatever, you know.
And then her water broke.
And then her water broke, and then Zeus cursed her. And, you know, maybe shortly after that, Zeus learned she had a baby, or I don't know. There's a lot of ways it could go.
I'm hoping that there's an actual answer to it, and it's not just going to be one of those things that's like we're supposed to just take it as, oh, she was immortal, and that her parents gave her up when she was 3, and that's the end of that. Like, I hope that there's really something more to it.
Especially with how much they kept her parents a theme in the book. You know, it wasn't like let's just mention it and then like forget it kind of thing. It's like been, you know, they even did the fake parents on stage, and it's like been such a constant theme throughout the book of re-mentioning her parents, that I'm really hoping that that's like the thing that's supposed to keep it on your mind, so you're asking those questions of, well, who are her birth parents?
Yeah.
You know, especially because she fell in the river Styx. I'm gonna hang on to that.
Like, that should have killed her. Or at least made her severely sick.
Yeah, or, I mean, I guess in the story, you know, in the sense of Achilles.
Yeah.
I guess.
But Achilles was a demi.
But yeah, exactly. Which, again, I guess
she could be a
demigod. You know, again, Persephone could have made a baby with a mortal, which is a huge
no
to Zeus, despite the fact that he likes to do that.
But only he can do it because he's a hypocrite.
Man, we love toxic men.
Not him, though, because he's a piece of shit.
Oh, God, you know
what? It's fine if you're a toxic man to everybody but your love interest, but Zeus is just a toxic man to everyone. He's not even nice to Hera.
Wonderful wife. I mean, sort of. She's a little crazy.
But wouldn't you be too up to spending a century with Zeus? Centuries?
Eons with Zeus? Yeah. I mean, to be fair. And honestly, you know, if my husband kept cheating on me, yeah, I'd probably keep cursing his demigod children.
Yeah. I would too.
Don't want more curses? Stop cheating! We're gods. We can't get unmarried.
All I'm going to say, though, is for Hades, I totally would have fought in the crucible, 100%. But if I was ever chosen by, like, Zeus or something, the way I'm offing myself in crucible number 1, in labor number 1. Like, the way I'm looking and just saying, oh, you wanted to be king of the gods again? Good luck, and then killing myself, because fuck you. Especially if I have no loved ones, and, like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Curse the house I lived in?
Boo.
Boo. I'm dead. I don't give a shit.
None of those people loved me anyways. You literally cursed me to be unlovable. You literally made it to where I have nothing ever going for me. So, like, bye.
Like, the way I would have tried to become Zeus's champion if I had had that curse, just so I could kill myself in the first labor, so that way he couldn't be king of the gods.
Yeah, you know, she's so smart, but she's not smart enough, because really smart. That's what she should have been. Going to the temple to beg Zeus to please let me be his champion, and then when I get up there, I'm gonna kill myself.
Please give me the chance to fight for you so you can lift this curse you gave me. Like, seem all like gung-ho, like, I recognize my wrongs, please.
I'm so sorry that I, as an unwilling, unparticipant part of my mother's labor, broke her water and had it spill on your temple floors.
I understand. I'm just a mere mortal, and I should have prayed to you even in the womb. And then the way that I would then just off myself.
I'd be like, I'm so sorry that I was born in water instead of lightning. My bad. You're right. When my mom decided to go in labor, she should have had lightning shoot out her crotch.
Not water.
Not water. That was just disrespectful. Too much faith in Poseidon there. Sorry. Would it have been better for you or worse if it had been, like, listen, morbid, but if, like, a dead baby dropped out? Sorry, Hades offering, that wrong temple. What shoots out your crotch is what determines what kind of baby you get, what God likes you. You're in Zeus's temple, water bust out, Poseidon's cheering, Zeus is shooting, smiting your baby. Pop out like a freaking... And lightning bolt, all of a sudden Poseidon's crying. Oh my god. Sometimes I wish humans laid eggs. I feel like, one, labor would be so much more fun. Like, you grow an egg inside of you for a bit, and then you just, like, squat and pop it out, and you got, like, a little egg to take care of for a bit, and then it hatches out to a baby. That would be fun. It's like little surprise grab bags. What if you get your egg at the park?
Oh, God.
If I was a god, I would probably come up with really fun curses like that. You're going to bear a child once a year, every year for the rest of your life. However, it has to hatch. So you're going to give birth to an egg, and then that egg has to hatch. So enjoy sitting on it.
Oh, God. That'd be a horrible curse. You're going to give birth once a year.
To an egg.
Not even just that, the amount of children you'd have to take care of.
Well, yeah, but just think about the size of an egg around a human baby. Like, those things are not tiny when they come out. I mean, they're small, but they're not, like, small.
But, like, what? But if you gotta sit on them until they hatch, wouldn't they still be, like, on the smaller side? Like, let's say?
No, because it's all about inconvenience. So now you just have, like,
this 6-pound egg.
Like a nice, like, 8-pounder egg to sit on. Because you got to think it's got to still sit in some goop. And then the eggshell. So you got, like, a 6-pound something baby with an 8-pound something bulk load because of the water inside of the egg and everything. And then your baby has to break its way out so it's in there until it's strong enough to, like, out of a fucking egg. And then, but it still as helpless as a newborn.
It only has
size of a toddler.
It only
looks like a newborn.
It only has the strength to break out of its egg shell, and then it goes back to being weak.
Yeah, because that's the God blessing part of your curse. Your babies will always be able to make it out of their eggs. Nothing will inconvenience them.
A blessing, curse in disguise.
It's a curse. With a blessing. Be happy or I'll smite you. You want to die instead or hatch some eggs, bitch?
Oh, God.
Another one I could probably do? Every time you pee, a little tiny bit of poop falls out your butt.
The gods just really aren't very, creative anymore with their curses.
You know what I mean? Every time you go to sit down to eat at a restaurant, you get diarrhea.
No, Zeus is just over here making you unlovable.
Yeah, which is, like, fine, but, like, I know plenty of people that I have never loved, but I have done plenty of other things with. You know what I'm saying?
You don't need to be loved to have friends. You just need to be cared for.
Yeah, well, you don't need to be loved to have fun. You don't need to be loved to get off, and you don't need to be loved to buy shit. So sounds like she just wasn't taking advantage of something that obviously would have put her in a really good position.
It's probably because she was raised by the
thieves. Yeah. Anyways, I don't think Zeus was creative enough. He should have been like, you know what? No one is ever going to love you, and if they care about you, they will do something to inevitably hurt you.
Because then you really got to make sure no one cares about you.
Yeah, because then they're capable of caring about you, but no matter what, whether they like it or not, they will eventually hurt you.
Yeah.
Then...
Now it's a real curse.
Yeah, and then every time you go to a restaurant, you get diarrhea. I'd be a big fan of the and then curses. They'd make me the goddess of and then.
You'd be the god of pettiness. The goddess of pettiness.
Oh, yeah, definitely. A girl comes into my temple. I can't believe he cheated on me. No dick. No dick. He has no dick now. No dick. In fact, the only way he ever gets a dick back is if he lets a dude put a dick in his butt. He's so straight, he's never going to do... Exactly. See? Beautiful.
I feel like at some point, that straight dude would learn to be a little gay for a dick again.
Maybe. But that's the real twist. Not a normal dick, tentacle dick.
Hey, I never said what kind of dick I give you.
And then...
Be like, you wanted a dick, here's your octopus dick.
Oh yeah, and it only ejaculates M&Ms. But like bad M&Ms. Like the second you bite into the M&M, it just bursts into like a maggot.
See, the way I would be like, oh, you wanted, I'd give them like an elephant dick, like something that they couldn't even carry around. They'd be like forever petulantly stuck on their bed.
Oh no, give them some South Park testicles. You ever see that episode?
Yes. Where they're bouncing
on their balloon balls. I loved that episode.
But no, I would be like, yeah, and I just feel like because then you can give them an elephant one, because then also they're never having sex again. No woman's putting that up inside her.
A teeth or a dick with razors. Razor dick. Laser dick. Clam penis. You know those weird clam ones that look like dicks? One of those as a wiener. It looks like a dick, but no woman is ever going to want to touch that. Put it away. Put it away right now. You know. Oh, nipples that every time you cry, pepperonis come out of them. You know what I mean? I want to curse people things that make their lives miserable, because miserability just leads to suicide, which means to escape from the curse. No, I'm going to make sure that they're fully embarrassed in some way that gives them such a deep sense of shame they never feel comfortable with anyone ever, truly.
Or a slow one where, like, I read this one, the curse of course got lifted in the book, where every time he had sex with somebody he didn't care about, a little bit of his dick turned into a candy cane, and it just slowly spreads up and then goes up.
What is this book?
And like goes up the trunk of his body.
Candy man!
So could you imagine that one too? Every time you have sex with someone you don't care about, a little bit of you turns into a candy cane. And then once you're full candy cane,
I'm wondering how many women he boned before. Like, how candy did he become? Did someone lick him?
Yes.
Was he delicious?
Yeah, tasted like peppermint. And full candy cane dick, the whole thing. He fucked enough women to be the whole. He was a little bit of a slut.
What a horny motherfucker.
But yeah, it was nothing but pure trash and fun. I'm not gonna lie.
I bet. I want to read about a candy man. I liked that opera song.
So yeah, that would be a good, just every time you have sex, a little bit of you turns into a candy cane until you're fully a candy cane.
Oh yeah.
So either you give up sex permanently, or you deal with the fact that eventually you're just gonna be full candy cane.
I'd be full candy cane so fucking fast, bro. Well, yeah. I just don't think the gods were all that creative. Also, the games, some of them, they could have done better. There wasn't one Hydra. You putting them through nothing, a Minotaur.
I mean, that was their first one. I feel like, though, dealing with sirens seemed like it would be a fucking shit show without that.
The sirens was cool. I would have loved to see maybe a griffin.
Okay.
That would have been cool to see kicking some ass.
Athena's one with bugs, that one would have got me because I hate fucking bugs.
Strangely enough, the maze one would not have gotten me. I'm freakishly good at mazes. The bugs would have not been like. I listen. I know this sounds really, really weird because most people are like, "Oh man, I'm already scared of spiders, but big spiders, fuck that." And I'm like, listen, the bigger the animal, the happier I kind of am. Not scared of very large bugs, because large bugs typically don't want to eat things like people or even bite them. And I get in the maze that they're like enchanted for that and they're gonna like be hunting you, but I'm a fast motherfucker, so I'm not scared of the bugs, and I'm really good at mazes. I think I would be able to do.
I'm directionally challenged. I would be lost.
No,
I would die in that maze.
I'm a shit swimmer.
I'm really good at swimming. I would have been fine.
Been terrible in that cave. I am a shit swimmer.
I am really good at swimming. Directionally challenged. I would have died in the maze.
Yeah, no.
The obstacle course, that would have killed me a bit. I got no stamina. What do you mean I gotta run?
I actually would have done pretty decent on the obstacle course. I'm really good at ropes courses, so like I would have done pretty decent running on those.
I got the balance of a drunk bitch in heels. On
I
a
thought you were
good
gonna
day.
say a drunk dwarf for a second. I was about to be like, man, you can't say that anymore.
No, a drunk bitch in heels.
You know what?
I fall over nothing.
You know, strangely enough, I fall all the time. But the second I'm in high stress situations, I'm really good at doing certain stuff. Not so much in the regular though. I think I would have done pretty decent at the tower one. And understand, yeah, because one, I'm a fucking girl. Of course, I know how to break a mechanical machine. Treat it like under the hood of a car. What's this? An alternator? Yank. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean?
I don't think I would have done well with the Fates one either. Only getting 3 questions. If and only if.
Yeah, bro. That's probably the one that just in general would have killed me because I wouldn't have known what to ask. But on top of that, I can't freaking rock climb. What? The way I'd be looking at the drop and going, you know, if I heal, I'm not dead. But if I die, I don't have to do this anymore. And I kind of feel like the let myself fall would be a win. In fact, probably just to make a point to the gods. That's the one I would have killed myself on. I would have just stepped off the platform. Bye, Zeus. Peace.
Also, yeah, because like as that ledge moves, you eventually just like hold it onto the wall. Like, bitch, no.
No, not me.
That one, that's the one. I think that ultimately, the very first one, I could swim. I could do okay. As long as somebody else, solved it. I'm a good swimmer.
Honestly, I wouldn't have even given a flying fuck ass about trying to figure out how to like keep those egg sacs on the wall fucking from hatching. I'm talking squiggity squooty, I'm squishing you. Pop, pop, pop. They're in a sack. Fucking kill it. Stab, stab. Number of those people had weapons. Squish the damn things. We took our clothes off and wrapped them in wet clothes. We don't know how long. Well, yeah, because they're wet clothes. Clothes dry. Kill them. Squish.
Oh.
Tell the bone soldiers to go over there and fucking squish. You know what I mean? The amount of things that they conquered or went up against that really you should have just squish.
Because then what was the second labor again? Because that was Poseidon's first one. And then the second one was the questions one, right? Because that's when she asked Desire. Like, I would have died on number 2. And then number 3 was wasn't that the obstacle course one? I think it was, because the number 3 was the obstacle course with because the obstacle course was number 5, because that was Apollo's with Artemis. And Apollo was number 4 with his harp.
Yeah, 4 and 5 were together.
And so the number 3 was, because in the next one, because number 6 was was Aphrodite with her dream.
Yeah, and then
number 7 was his Hepatit, whatever, Hepatus with his fucking tower. And then she missed 8, 9, and 10. And then 11.
Which, that made me really mad, to be honest, that she was out that long. I get it, but like, I don't know. I felt the wound was cool. I liked what it led to, but it really annoyed me that that wound was so bad that she was down for that long.
Yeah, and then number 11, which she lost, was the maze one.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 12, of course, was Zeus's. What was number 3? That was Hermes, right? No, because he was the fucking ledge. And he got the shoes. Why can't I think of what number 3 was? Now I feel bad. Remember every single other labor. This is gonna bother me.
I don't know.
Now I'm bothered. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh,
the wine! It was the fucking wine one. It's Dionysus. His wine one where, like, if you touch the ivy, you got the horrible fucking blisters. And then the vodka one, I mean. And if you poured the vodka and the bottles on it, it, like, got rid of the blisters. And it was whoever got...
No, that was part of 4 and 5.
No, that was... Because...
Because he went through the door with the harp, and then you were in.
No, that one had the flags, because that one was.
Oh yeah, that one was the flag. So yeah.
Yeah, that was number 3.
Okay.
Was Dionysus with the vodka.
Man, I'm just saying, I would not have been a team. I would have grabbed a couple of those bottles and took off fucking running. Feet or no feet, you can see better during the day than you can at night. And he literally says to them, be careful at night. Fuck no, I'm not being in here at night. Fuck you guys, fuck everything. I can take a burn. I burn myself all the time while dabbing. So, you know what? I can take a fucking burn. Bye. I'm on foot. I'm running. I'm hopping. I'm jumping. I'm skipping. See ya. Getting the fuck out of here.
Because they wasted so much time trying to get a pallet that they ended up not even being able to fully get across because they were there at night and they had to use it all to save themselves.
Exactly. Well, and he even said it would be helpful to help each other at first up until a certain point. And I'm telling you, the second it reached nighttime, I bet a singular person running through that woods is going to attract a whole lot less ivy than a group.
Yeah.
You know.
Boy, I'm taking a bottle and I'm off. Bye.
See ya, bitches.
That sounded like a horrible way to die. Those blisters and then going into anaphylactic shock. Like, no fucking thank you. No fucking thank you. I'd rather pick the ledge. Let me fall to my death.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Overall, I thought it was a really good book. I really enjoyed the pacing. I felt like it was easy to digest. I think that's one of my favorite parts, is that it felt easy to digest and consume quickly, considering we read most of it in a day.
Yeah.
Which, in my opinion, is actually a really good read, because if it didn't feel like suffering to read all day, it kind of just felt like a nice treat to get to
sit there and read, and snack
and whatnot. Yeah, that was like nice.
Yeah,
that was a good Saturday.
It was.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited that we ended this year on a good book, especially with how
the last read was garbage.
But I am excited for our January reads.
Yeah, where we'll be reading Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros.
And Iron Flame as well in the ending of January.
Yep. In preparation for the release of Onyx Storm.
I know, I'm excited.
Anyways, join us next time. Bye.